Oh my god, you guys. It's Caboose. Hey, Caboose. How are you doing today? Do you want... Caboose, do you want a kiss? Do you want a kiss? Oh. Oh. He's just a baby. Are you just a baby? Can I have a kiss? Oh. He's just like a little guy. He's just like a little guy. I love you. What's up with you guys today? So let's start with the elephant in the room. The wall of Pat. It just so happens the way that the backlog has come out that there is actually a fairly significant amount of Pat on this list. Out of 45 games, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, there's exactly 30%. Wow, we've actually maintained a perfect Pat ratio. That's crazy. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Pat, didn't we actually start out with 100 games? How come you actually say there's 105 now? Because shut up. Because shut your mouth. You tell him, Caboose. Yes, they're mine. How am I enjoying that clean Vancouver weather? Bro, I went to the store in my t-shirt. Like nobody can stop me. Bro, are you just staring at me with big love eyes? Caboose. Caboose. You can't listen. You can't. Oh my goodness. He's just a little guy. Oh. Thank goodness we didn't spoil this dog. Ew. You're gross. You're nasty. All right. Anyway, yeah, 30% Pat. That's a good number. That's a good number. And Pat's shit is cool. So there, bitches. Hey, let's thank some Peepo and get in there, huh? By the way, I'm now using, for my purposes only, a combined chat, which means no longer do I have to move my eyes to do different places, which means Black Skull Knight, Utaval Plays, J Venom, Jagged So, etc. You are less invisible than you were before. I can see you. I can see that you are gay, Zane Martin. I can see that. Put that away. You don't need to have it pulled out of your pants just for the show. Shouldn't have looked. Ah, damn it. I got penis light in my eyes. Damn it. With 2 chats, is it scrolling faster? Yeah. Well, that's fine. I have good eyeballs. I have 20/20 vision. You know? I'm good like that. Hey, let's think of the peepo, huh? Let's do that. Pat, when I was your age, you had to get a pair of reading glasses. I don't like when people say when I was your age. I don't like that. That makes me feel old. I'm going to turn 40 in a couple of months, and I guess it's time for me to have my midlife crisis. But my midlife crisis isn't like, oh, I should buy a sports car. It's like, I should get into farming games and solitaire. You know, oh yeah, I gotta go get my ass fingered by a doctor even. By a doctor even. Oh. And let's thank some people. Nocturne Reverie sub, this was yesterday, says, loving pets pastures. The modding scene on this game, he's talking about Stardew Valley, is a godsend, but also a kind of sword of Damocles at the same time, as it feeds just as much into anxiety as it does satisfaction. Optimizers stress over not being able to adequately future-proof their farm, despite not knowing the future. Beautifiers stress over the best aesthetics, being locked behind grinding and materials. Stardew really is a game that picks at every flavor of autism and mutates them into their own madness. So that's, I noticed that, like, that to me was when I was on the Stardew Valley Nexus and I saw the mod Automate. And what Automate does is if you put items in a box that is right next to a machine, the machine will eat the box's items, and then you put the box next to a box on the right side of the machine and it spits them out. And I looked at that and I'm like, that seems like legitimately antithetical to the core principles at play in Stardew Valley. Like, I want to see where the range of the scarecrow goes. And I have a lot of items that I want to be able to put into my boxes fairly easily. But Automate feels like changing it into a fairly dramatic point of view. It's too much. It's too much. Well, for a first playthrough anyway, right? Like, if you're doing your second, like, I think it's only appropriate to use the Automate mod if you are going the Joja route. If you're going full on Amazon fucking warehouse, then yeah, okay, automate that shit. Right? Like, I'm a big fan of modding like minor conveniences in versus like fundamentally changing the game. Like, I don't think I'm really breaking anything by seeing where my fucking scarecrows extend out to. I'm of the opinion that I think the scarecrow distance should actually be in the game by default. Like, I think it's weird. I think it's strange that you can't see it. Anyway, thanks for the sub, Nocturne. Also, I was talking to Paige about this. It's absolutely nuts. Nuts. How many farm-ish games came out last year in early access with a release date of this coming year or are coming this year? Absolutely fucking crazy. There's Moonlight Peaks, Besmirch, Fractured Blooms, Sunkissed City, Halcyon Days at Taiwan, Witchbrook, Chef RPG, Traveler's Rest, Rocket Lab, Harvest Shadows, we're up to like 11, 12, Grave Seasons, Welcome to Elderfield, Story of Seasons gets a pass, Grimshire, and Mystria. And Neverway. And I says to Paige, I says, what's the deal with that shit? And she says, the fucking lockdown, Pat. And I went, oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to take a photo of you guys. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of them. Oh, yeah. People were stuck on the inside of their house and they were playing Animal Crossing. And Stardew Valley was like one of the most popular games of all time at that time. Right? And motherfuckers went, hey, I'm gonna do it. I could do a farm. And I think my favorite part of that whole mentality is a full 50% of them went, but what if haunted? Like when you're like, I'm going to make Stardew Valley, but in a city. I'm going to make Stardew Valley, but in China or whatever, right? But like half of them, straight up 50%, I'm going to make Stardew Valley, but the farm's haunted. And that actually kicks ass. I love it when things are haunted. I think that blank but haunted is a great gimmick. Also, you're right. Haunted Chocolatier is literally haunted. I did not even fucking think of that. And that actually includes the fucking name Haunted. That's crazy. That's fucking bandanas, man. Fatal Destiny says, I want to make Stardew Valley, but it's a Lynchian critique of the death of the small town in the modern world. Okay, one, that is just Stardew Valley. Two, that one of the games I read out to you is that game. That's Grave Seasons. That's what that is. Anyway, there's a bunch of these motherfuckers. Seems haunted, but is a good relative of this game type. Shame you can't mention most games that are good about this. This is a huge spoiler. I mean, you could call the Mystery Inc. game. But you could also just lie. Right? CG Runyon asks, when are you going to make a new fucking intro for your what segment, Pat Farms? Bro, you keep up. Keep up. Get it together. Sometimes I pick up the dog wrong and it ends up like this. I think the funniest thing is he doesn't even care. Caboose, do you even care? Potato. Anyway. That's what I wanted to say. Puncher kicked in $5. Thanks, Puncher. My stepson's fiance. My stepson's fiance spent half an hour explaining the Kendrick Drake beef to me tonight. It was really hard to shut my mouth and stay polite. Oh man. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you guys. Well, I'm sure they were excited. Anya kicked in $5. Thank you. Hi, Pat. Okay. I got diagnosed with cyclothymia, and I'm making you celebrate with me with this money. I want to thank you and Paige for always talking about mental illness positivity, because you guys are an inspiration and give. Oh, diet bipolar. Would you like a can of bipolar? No. Diet for me. Bipolar 0, thank you. Yeah, that one's annoying. But thank goodness you don't have the bipolar. That one's awful. Shona, you got the bipolar type 2? Oh man. Good for you. I really mean it. I actually really mean it. That might sound condescending or whatever. Anything but bipolar type 1. Man, you don't want bipolar type 1. Oh, man. That's one of the roughest. So for those of you who aren't familiar, bipolar type 2 is normal depression. Normal depression. Ping bong, bing bong, bing bong, right? Bipolar type 1 is depression, mania. Depression, mania. Depression, mania, mania, depression. The reason why you don't want the type 1 is because if you wake up manic, you don't take your medicine because you're manic as fuck. Like it's like it's self-defeating by its very nature. Like diabetes? No, man, that's not even what? It's not even close. I'm out of here. So I actually went to go get my flannel and turn the heat down. Yeah, no, not like that at all, man. Because hypomania is all right. Hypomania is all right. I've had hypomania. Hypomania is okay. So if you're not familiar with hypomania, hypomania is a manic state that doesn't override your sense of reality, responsibilities, self-preservation, or decision-making skills. Okay, so Faithless says hypomania is not okay. Shona Hero, who has it, says it's just a really good mood. So Faithless, chill. So the core issue with hypomania is that it's a massive downer when you come down on it. Bipolar type 1 full-blown mania causes people to jump off buildings because they think they can fly. Right? Hypomania will give you the guts to talk to that cashier at the store and feel really confident. Right? It's very different. It's very different. Like, maybe you'll be rude or you'll feel full of yourself, but you're not going to be like, I bet I can make that jump in my car. You know? I thought hypomania was with the hypodermic needles. Anyway. Congratulations on your diagnosis, Ania. Oh, they went on. I talked all this shit, and then they kept going. Ania kicked in $5 extra. Says, the courage to look for answers, address my illness, and give it a form I can understand. Scary, but now I know who I am, and I can fight. Know that I love you both. You guys are amazing and have always made a huge impact on my life. So one of the things that was always very interesting to me was that when you have the mental illness, when you have the undiagnosed mental illness, a lot of your personal self-judgment extends further beyond what is immediately noticeable. So if you have undiagnosed ADHD, instead of just saying I'm scatterbrained or I'm late all the time, you then go beyond and to be like, I'm lazy or I'm unreliable. And, you know, these larger things, right? So when I was having to find out that I had, don't say that, Finchett. That's irresponsible and immoral of you to do so. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. So I got the OCD, right? And when I would be having my little, my little OCD, my little bit of moments, right? I would be like, oh, I must be completely insane. Everyone around me is sane, and I am insane, and I am disconnected from reality. Yada, yada, yada. So it's like, it's useful to go from like, man, I was built wrong, to I was built wrong in a highly specific way that I know the ins and outs of. Right? Like one of the things that, man, I get that people want to be kind, and I get that people want to feel good about themselves, but I, as somebody part of the gang, when I see people say, I have blank and there's nothing wrong with me, I want to grab them by the shoulders and be like, you don't speak for me. I don't know. There's plenty wrong with me. Like a bunch. And you standing there and being like, everything is fine. Doesn't work for shit. Who says that? You know who says that? Like the number one people who say that? Parents of ADHD and autistic kids. parents that don't want their kids to be different. But here's the thing, girl. Your kid is already different, and you pretending they're completely fine doesn't help them. I know 2 people whose parents got ADHD diagnoses for them when they were like 5. And then they went, not my kid. And then they found it out later in their fucking 20s. And when they brought it up to their mom was like, yeah, well, that's a gay science or some equivalent. My mom always chalked up ADHD as being a Gemini. Bro, that's the most ADHD shit ever. Oh, look at this sweet guy. Anyway, good on you for getting a useful diagnosis, right? I don't know what the treatment for cyclothymia. It's probably, well, SSRIs are on the way out. It might be dance. It might be dance. That might be the treatment. By the way, Richie EX and Carry Boy sub, thank you. SSRIs are on the way out, so your doctor's likely to still prescribe them for you. But SSRIs have been found to have the poorest treatment outcome of almost all treatment plans. With dance being the #1 treatment plan for success for clinical depression and a bunch of other things. And by dance, that primarily includes people who dance as part of community or structured plans that foster community. Exercise also beats SSRIs. Starting a new hobby that gets you to talk to people. Basically, a lot of our modern clinical depression appears to be a direct result of the internet and not knowing people in your neighborhood and hanging out with your neighbors. Oops. Oops. On top of that, SSRIs have like fairly significant side effects. So if anybody's here has been on SSRIs, if you're a woman, man, just downer all the way around. If you're a guy, there's a bit of a bonus to your SSRI. There's a little bit of your bonus, like when you're 20. Like when you're 20. When you're older, probably not. A Redneck Ranger and Kartakas asks, why? Well, SSRIs interfere with certain neurotransmission, which makes it almost impossible for you to nut. It can affect sex drive, but more than that, it makes it almost impossible for you to nut. Almost impossible. So depending where you're at in your life, it can be pretty useful. But once you age out of your youthful vigor, it starts to lose a lot of its appeal. Twitter Rowan says, Pat, I'm 25 on SSRIs and I have no trouble with that. Well, good for you. That's a little too much information for me. Thank you. Hey, okay, cool. Carrie Boy and Richie EX, thanks a lot for the sub. Super Bong Dong subs says 1 year sub to 14 years of laughs later, from college to married / normal work life. Glad to be there for good times. Thanks for being you. Thank you. Iron Okie kicked in a sub. I think you and Wooly are both great at streaming games the way you want to, as opposed to the way you're supposed to, or whatever. Really shows with stuff like Stardew. I think that's not true. I think part of my problem is that I think me and Wooly are opposite ends of the spectrum, ladies. But on that, where we both attack the game based on our own sensibilities, and Wooly will attempt to Wooly Madden his way through a game as hard as possible, almost to the point of like absurdity. And like, it's his tester brain, right? Like he will like fundamentally break parts of the system by not interacting with them in the intended gameplay way. Right? On the other hand, I will go, so this is how you want me to play it? All right. And I engage with its systems outside of my own player agency and break it in the other direction. Like, FF16 is a really good example. I ruined that game's final boss fight by really thinking hard about what would be effective in the game, and then not focusing on what would be a fun way to play, but instead what would the most effective way to play be. And then like I actively ruined the final boss fight for myself. A Redneck Ranger says, Pat, I'm just too good at the game. Boave. No, so FF16 has like a fundamental design problem. And the fundamental design problem is that ultimates take up an item, a skill slot, instead of being hold right trigger and hit X. You should have always had access to the ultimate of your current dominant, and it should have been one bar, and it should have built up across all three, and it should have been balanced according to that. I should not have been able to put all the ults on my guy simultaneously and just hold them to burn a boss out instantaneously to death. The same could be said about Metaphor. That's true. That's true. Jay Venom kicked in at $5. Thanks, Jay. Sup, Pat? Going to see the new Silent Hill movie with my dad. Hope he doesn't hate me after that. Have a good stream. I'll catch you in the VOD. No problem, man. Apparently that thing's like rancid dog shit. Apparently that's just like one of the worst movies ever. So that's cool as fuck. Wooly engages with games as if he has to just throw himself at the wall until it breaks, and when it doesn't, he blames the wall. So I think one of the most interesting things about Wooly is that he's played hundreds of games. And he's played like dozens, if not hundreds, on camera. And I think the only mistake Wooly ever makes is a early mistake, which is this is how the game should work based off of what's in his head and not based off of the experience he's had with games in the past. Right? Like he's coming at it from like a game designer's perspective of like, well, if I made this game, this is how I would do it and this is how it should work. And it doesn't fucking work like that because he didn't make it. And then he's like, damn. Right? When he thinks out loud and says he has to play it bad in order to not have downtime for YouTube, but then him thinking out loud bloats the YouTube video with dead airtime of him talking about what not to put in the video. Yeah. You just, so me on the other hand, like I'll just like I'll start to like sweat if I think I'm not playing the game correctly. Like I'm obsessed with playing the game correctly. And the answer is, the thing is like, well, what's going to happen if I don't play the game correctly? And the answer is, I will die. Something bad will, hey. Tell me if you've heard this one before. If I don't do this thing just right 10 times in a row, then something bad will happen. So I'm going to make sure nothing bad happens by doing this thing just right. And that means I saved everybody. And you should thank me. That's my favorite. And you should thank me for saving you. I love it. Little man, fat coat kicked in a sub. Thanks, little man. All right. Let's spin that motherfucking wheel. Woo! Wheel time. Caboose, we need you. Caboose. Caboose, we need you. Kiwami 3's mostly negative on stream. Is it because they have that sex pervert in there? Or is it because it sucks? Retcons, awesome. You ready, buddy? It's Vader XYZ! Hey, hooray! Oh my god. Ooh. Thanks, Boos. Thank you, Caboose. Have we hit page yet? Nope. Not yet. Wait, is this a trick? All right, what do we got? We got hey. Let's see. Where's XYZ? There you are. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what this is at all. What's Mary's new name for the movie? Not Twitter Rowan. Mary Angela Laura Crane. Yeah, Cyrus says it's a spoiler. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's that good shit. Ooh, no controller support for this one. All right. We're flying blind. We're playing the Primordalis game. I don't know what this is. What? What? These are cell types. You drag them around to arrange them to your liking. And click one to select it. You can use the draw or fill tools. Okay. Okay. All right, I did it. Okay. Cool game. All right. So that was the Primordalis demo. I'm gonna put that on not recommended. Hey. Thank God that was a fucking demo. Oh, we're passing the wall. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's Pat. Whoa, why'd Pat get so big all of a sudden? Okay, whoa, okay. The Pats just got really huge. That's weird. Okay, let's go with this one. Primordalis, hey, you can go to... wait, maybe a different one, actually. We'll go with this. Unknown controller support. That's always fun, isn't it? This is something called Necro Barista, of which I don't know much about. And appears to have fundamentally broken controller support. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. Hey! Is this about being sad or gay? I think it's about being Australian. They thought of the faraway grave on the plain. They thought of the comrade who came not again. They lifted their glasses and sadly they said, "We drink to the name of the mate who is dead. Henry Lawson." Cough. Cough, cough. Too bloody damp down here. I know we're underground, but I don't suppose there are any windows we could open. So this is already super stylish. Ventilation duct in here somewhere. Maddie, mind opening it up and get some fresh air circulating? Can we get an Australian accent? I don't know, can you? Other end's blocked right now. There's a dumpster sitting on it. You'll have to grin and bear it. Can we hurry this up? Calm your farm, old man. You're well aware it takes a while to set up. Don't appreciate your tone. Sorry. At the very least, can we turn some lights on? All the rubbish you got scattered around. I'd like to at least know where I'm putting my feet. Ashley, would you mind? Thanks. You're more organized than last time, I see. Sigh. Practice makes perfect. Hey, Maddie. How much more wire do we need? I think that's enough. Great. Now. Che? What's up, little P? Found your chair. Oh, thanks. So, this whole thing. Surely it's not illegal, yeah? Maddie wasn't clear on that. Yeah, the council found it confronting. For good reason, I suppose. Because it utterly upsets the natural order. Mate. It's not just bureaucracy. Shush, you. Nar. The rules. They can't be bent. Anyway, sigh. Maddie has a particular fascination with breaking rules, as I'm sure you've realized. Don't give her all the credit, bah. Is this related to her gambling for time? So, the transfer. Was it the same sort of magic we're doing now? Yeah. Small scale, though. Doing it on a larger scale requires a bit more prep. The council successfully suppressed all available info about it, though. For good reason. What happens if something goes wrong? Well, you don't tend to mess it up more than once. Or try it again after you fail, for that matter. Stubborn scholars notwithstanding. What do you even call this sort of magic, then? Question's irrelevant, because it's banned. Extremely cool? That's what I call it. Well, by definition, it's a conduit ritual. Hey, we're among friends. We can call it what it really is. So this game's got style. It's showing well. Let's see what it's actually got. From your hazy memories, a certain word calls out to you. Necromancy. You try desperately to remember what it meant. This fragment of a memory stays with you. Piece together the past. Remember what transpired. And never forget. You are. Scattered. Practice. Bureaucratic. Fascination. Disheveled. Messy. Blenders. Detective Callous. They probably had voice acting, but they took it out because Americans couldn't understand any of it. Oh, move! Oh, okay! Alright, didn't think that. Inspect a memory, huh? Maddie's rules. We welcome both living and dead. Patrons will be served in the order they arrived. Don't ask who's alive. It's rude. Somebody wants you to know, they'll tell you. Dead have 24 hours to spend within the premises before moving on. Strictly enforced. No, we don't have Wi-Fi. Broken items and other anomalies to staff. Can't clean up your broken glass or spatial rift. We don't know about it. Don't feed the Eidolons. They can't eat. Offering them food just reminds them of that cruel fact. Yeah, I can't believe they don't have Wi-Fi. Yes, Wi-Fi. The terminal. Carlton, Victoria, Australia. 3053! Online reviews. Pretty unremarkable coffee. Barista speaks Chinese, but exclusively uses it to mock people. I'm very self-conscious about my top hat now. Observe a little girl running around a cafe with a knife, unsupervised. Came down with a sense of ennui after visiting. Rudely told to stop being a big dweebus after complaints about burnt tasting coffee. This coffee's some of the best I've ever had. 5 stars. I have no taste buds. The door closes. So there's something I actually really, and I mean strongly dislike. There's no auto advance. Every cut has to be manual. Hey, mate, you right? Eck. You can see me? Clear as day, yeah. What can I get you? I been walking around for hours. Nobody was talking to me. I don't even know how I got here. Think you'll find it was via the front door. Okay. Right. Where am I? As dearly departed is the terminal. Departed? They say our coffee's to die for. So, don't really know how to go about this. Ask me anything, man. Not the first disheveled. Gotta drop in, I'm sure you won't be the last. What does everybody else ask? They generally ask, what does everybody else ask? Oh, shit. And they always say that. Then they hear some embarrassed silence. Alright, alright. 3058's the postcode, not the year. Oh, you guys have silly postcodes. You make a habit of bullying everybody comes through, or just the pitiful ones? Almost especially the latter. Guess that's consistent. Always felt like people saw me as a pitiful guy. Sorry, I was actually just kidding there. No, you're right. I'm a fucking sad sack. Boss hated me, family hated me, work sucked. Just like everything else about me. Now I'm never gonna have a chance to make things better. That's it. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Hey, come on. Now I'm sitting in a cafe for dead people falling apart in front of the barista. Hey, pull it together. Number 1 rule, no breakdowns in the cafe, please. I promise, man. You're okay. I know what it is. Are you dead? No, I don't know if you read the rules outside, but God, I did. I can't even get that right. In that case, you also have to read that you have 24 hours left before you got to move on to the next place. I don't think you want to spend them having one big, long, extended panic attack. 24 hours? Ah, shit. What I'm saying is, everything's okay. Just take some deep breaths. We'll sort this out. Sorry. Don't want to make a fuss. Cafe's empty. It's not like I got anything else going on. Don't worry about it. You sure? I'm kind of a burden. You're not, promise. Chin up, mate. Let me tell you about the building. It's got cool history. The first time I came here was about 4 years ago! And that's why you should never ever serve a martini to a dead biker, even if he asks for one. All the possible ways to react to that. That's one I didn't expect. Yeah, no point in seeking eternal vengeance if you're gonna have to leave in a few hours anyway. Kind of strips it of meaning, you know? No way to tell whether you even care once you cross over. Then again, maybe I'm just being a buzzkill. Shouldn't go around policing people's reactions. I'm still wrapping my head around this death, that is. Yeah, I'm hoping they give me a video game soon. Feels weird to say, doesn't it? Weird. Yeah, that's the word. You said most people don't ever find out how they died before they pass? Even if they got murdered? Yep. Most people don't die from murder. Mostly sickness, or old age, or lawnmower. Well, they call them accidents, but really loads of lawnmowers are possessed by evil spirits. That said... Alright, hold on a second. You can't just drop that and move on. Possessed lawnmowers? Seriously? Anything with spinning blades attracts them. Garden equipment, blenders. Power saws. They're a real pain in the arse. Gotta do at least 1 or 2 extra systems a month on the coffee grinder. That's wild. I know I'm not breaking the rules again, but how many people in here are dead? Yeah, it's a cafe for dead people. Does that mean it's everybody? Or are some of these people just really into ghost cafes? Little A, little B. Plenty of mortals come though, but this one's the only crossing points in the country, so we get a lot of your type. That's also why the rent's so high, because those vampires who own the place know we get a lot of foot traffic. Literal vampires? Nah. Like boomers. Landlord class. Huh. Same thing, I guess. So to answer your question, there are 9 customers in here right now. Out of those 9, yourself included, I'd say 4 or 5 of them are passing through on their way to the next place. How can you tell? Once you worked here a while, you get a 6th sense for this sort of thing. Gotcha. Speaking of 6th sense, I got one for trouble. You have 2 6th senses? Hello, Ashley. Ashley adopted the cafe staff a couple of years back, much in the same way a puppy adopts a squeaky toy. Kind of ferociously smart kid who absorbed information like a sponge, but only used it to cause trouble. Today she accompanied by the stench of motor oil, brought back what look have said, I'm an invincible genius. She's mostly right about that. Alright, I know that look. Spit it out. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Cut the crap, kid. What are you after? Feel dizzy dealing with a customer? Not really needing a chin. At what point... It's gonna... Did you have any clamps? We got a bunch for your birthday last month. They're all being used for other very important things. They were not. Sure saw one on the table. You know what? So this is my recommendation because I didn't know. I thought there was a mechanic in here. And there's no auto advance or voice acting. Ban Pat? Oh, I got bad news. Why is there no auto advance? Why is there no voice acting and no auto advance? Yeah, can't tell if it's a visual novel or just a really long opening. A lot of visual novels have no auto advance. They should. All right, well. One day, hold on. I'm going to look at these Steam images and see if I see a video game in it. No, there isn't. I'm going to pass on that. Let's spin that wheel again. Well, we're making progress through the wheel. Oh, shit. Well, all right. Why are there so many Pats? Don't talk to me about that. Oh, hold on, Necro Barista. No, thank you. Let's try this one. How much money did this Pat guy do to get his name on the list? Oh, at least $30. At least. You know what? Let's take a quick break, shall we?